Hey everybody and welcome back to another video. This is How to Invest, Spencer here, and this one's going to be on Ford stock. So let's hop straight into it. As always, we start off with the market capitalization here, and it's just under 52 billion. The stock price is just about $13, and it went up almost 2.5% today as the indices were mixed and had very small gains or very small losses. If we look at some of the statistics for the company, they're very cheap when it comes to kind of historical terms to how to price a company. They are a 6 forward price to earnings ratio, which is very cheap considering the rest of the market is currently around 25 for the average of the S&P. Their price to sales is very low at less than 0.5, which is considered extremely cheap at 0.37, and their price to book is very good too. If we look at their current income statement for the past quarter, we can see that their revenue is great. They made $136 billion over the past quarter, which is up 38% year over year. But on the bottom line, they actually made 50% less than last year. So they're making more money on the top line, but it looks like they're trying to reinvest more of that money into the company on the bottom line, which is the reason for negative growth year over year. But we can still see that they're making profit on the bottom line, but just less than last year. So they still made $6 billion out of the $136 billion. But they spent $130 billion of that, whether that be servicing a lot of the debt that they have here, as we can see, or just reinvesting into the company and buying more chips, which they need a lot of, and they've trying to been getting their hands off because of the chip shortage, or just really reinvesting anywhere the cash is needed or they can deploy it. We can see that their balance sheet, they do have a good amount of debt, which I said earlier, at almost 150 billion, and their cash is not able to pay it all down on their balance sheet. But it doesn't really worry me because it is serviceable because they have a good amount of revenue stream, and this will continue to increase over time. So if needs be, they will be able to continue to pay down more and more debt each and each quarter as sales increase, as the chips become more and more available. I wanted to make this video because the stock has been in the news quite a bit recently. If we look over on Webull, you guys know, if you guys watch my video, that Webull always has better news for stocks. I don't know why. They always just have a lot more articles and availability when it comes to it. Like, if we look here, there's just a couple within the past day. So there's 4 articles within the past day, and they don't even have the one that I wanted to share. But the main one I wanted to share here is that they currently hired, just today, another executive from another Fortune 500 company. So they hired Lowe's executive to lead their data and software transformation, which is a very big deal because these two are going to be very big pillars as they transform from a typical ICE vehicle to an EV company. And then that just wasn't on Yahoo Finance. So if you guys are interested in looking for just news about a stock or info, I always suggest Webull. They're my go-to for it. But also another one that I wanted to touch on is that they are exiting India because they have yet to make money there. They had introduced a plan that they would roll out a lot of their traditional vehicles into India, trying to expand their the demographics and their sales and really regions of sale. But the whole plan was kind of a failure from the start and never really made money because just a lot of the people didn't even like the trucks or didn't really take to it, and there wasn't a lot of demand for the vehicles. So they're finally exiting that part of the market, and they're moving to focus on places that they do make money, which is mainly America currently, because the Ford F-150 is the highest selling not only truck but car in America. And this hiring today really just proves that they're really trying to focus on the demand that they have for the trucks and hitting on converting it into an electric vehicle, because they know if they're able to just grasp some of the demand that they have for the F-150 gasoline version and convert that into the EV, that the stock price and the company as a whole will reap great benefits from it, just as EV is considered a much more viable company. A lot of people don't want to invest in gasoline or companies that hurt the environment, so people tend to see Ford as a more EV and economic or eco-friendly company. People will be more and more bullish on the company. And then the third thing that I wanted to touch on is that Wells Fargo actually lowered their price target from 18 to 17, but 17 is still quite substantially higher than 13. So that is also a very bullish sign for the company. So right there is kind of 3 bullish news stories that all came out within the matter of 3 days. And this has been reflected in the stock. If you can see here, just in the 5-day chart, it was trading around $12.68 and has gone up to about $13 since then. You can see there is a little bit of a cup here and then the handle today. If we look at the stock chart for some technical analysis quickly, we can see here that this is a daily chart. I just have 5 simple moving averages, the green being the 200, the orange being the 50, the red being the 20, the pink the 10, and then the 5 is the purple. We can see here that it has a quite consistent uptrend on the 200-day moving average ever since about December of 2020, and has been very, very strong uptrend. It, of course, had a very big crash in 2020 in March, and has gone almost straight up since then. It went down to, looks like about $4 at the lowest, and is at 13, so that's over a 3x. And since, looks like just about June, has had a very prominent downtrend in this consistent uptrend, and is starting to reach its 200-day moving average again. If we zoom in here, it is testing the 20 today, so it was within a channel of the 200 and the 5 to start the day, and it looks like it is starting to break through the 20. So this stock will be very interesting to look at up for the next coming week. I will be definitely tracking this stock very, very closely to see if it does continue to break through the 20-day moving average and then break out of the 50-day moving average. And if it does, that is a very, very bullish technical signal for the stock. But if we start to see some red days and it start to kind of bleed out and start to retest the 200-day moving average, that would be much more interesting from a long-term buyer's perspective, because if it does break the 200-day moving average as opposed to bouncing off of it, then we could see just a really good buying opportunity for the stock. But even if it does bounce off the 200-day moving average, I believe that this stock is a great buy currently due to its long-term demand for their vehicles and just the sheer amount of focus that they're trying to put on really delivering on that front. So thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, have a great day and come again.